Right, so that's the first step. This is the meaning of life, why mankind exists. It is everything. There is nothing else without that love of God through Christ. I am the Alpha and the Omega. God says that. The beginning and the end of all things. We humans turn up and here we are. No. Anyway, so God's will, holy obedience. Now, here I am, and here I am, and here I am, and I'm questioning. Let's say, for instance, I had the proverbial 10,000 pounds sterling. Well, I've had this in the past, and I have not gone off willfully. I have been consistently, persistently seeking God's will for me for many, many years, back in various places around the world. Now, if one does something, you feel better. At least I've done something. I've gone off there, I've done this. Particularly, I went off to South Africa, had a Land Rover, I drove around the townships. I tried to work in the townships, okay? For a year and a half I did this. I drove 76,000 kilometers. I was born in Cape Town, South Africa, in 1956 on Wednesday, the 12th of September. At 7:30 in the morning. My mother was a maternity sister, so I was trying to go back and try and work in the townships. There is trouble all around the world. I listened to the BBC World Service through the night. Lima, Peru, Desaparecidos, back in 1983, 1984. And there's still the wives of these men who just disappeared. I don't know what all that was about. I don't know enough about the history of that. Colombia, they disappeared people. Well, then, here I am in England. God's supposed to be in England with no money and a leg, okay? Well, I can't just go off, with or without the 10,000 pounds. I can't physically do it. If I stand up for too long during the day, it swells up and I'm knackered. And then I'd have to be in wheelchairs and stuff. But practically, in my own spirit, without external assistance, I can't go off anywhere. So I do this instead. Make films. I'm breaking this up now, but I've made a whole series of 14 films of the letter of James, because it's beautiful. And the opening of the letter of James is, consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds, for the testing of your faith develops perseverance, and then from perseverance comes wisdom. But you must stick at it, stand firm. Don't give up. No matter what. These women in Peru, this is 30 years later, isn't it? 25 years later, and they're knitting a kilometre-long scarf, because apparently each family has a different way of knitting for the souls of their departed. But then someone might recognize this, and a bit of cloth on the clothes, they might find the bones and stuff. Anyway, it's a bit of an optimistic look at it, but they at least have hope. They want to bury the bones of their loved ones. This is just one story of sorrow in this world. Christ came to give us hope for eternal life. It's a true. And it is the only path to eternal life.